Another thing we hear when we're talking with firms is this concept of fixed fee billing. And they say, well, we bill a lot of fixed fee work, so we don't need to bill by the hour, and so therefore why do we need a time recording technology that makes billing by the hour even easier? And I think that's part of, again, the similar debate where, look, it's not about billing by the hour, it's about profitability. How do you know how profitable those fixed fee engagements are? And this is the thing, is that many firms have no idea, and they'd rather just have revenue in through the door and as fixed fee revenue and not worry so much about whether it's profitable or not. And again, it's a rather bizarre concept, but it does happen a hell of a lot. So I think, again, by looking at the source data of what the cost base of the firm is, then it's obvious that you can figure out the billing model afterwards, and indeed within a fixed fee environment, how profitable those engagements are. And that's something which has very much driven our client base and our procuring Rekoop. I would say over the last 18 months, virtually all of the firms that have purchased it is for that reason. It's because they want to understand the cost of delivering legal services. And yeah, some of that is fixed fee work, but some of it isn't. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't make any difference. And part of looking at your cost base and your profitability is looking at all of that data in the round. And when you're bidding for work, it's a very competitive landscape. And we've seen gross margins in the legal sector diminish down, to as low as, gosh, some firms are operating gross margins of less than 30%. Usually they were sort of 70–80%. So there's been a big shift in that. It's a much more competitive landscape, and we're also seeing firms no bidding work, £1 million fixed fee framework deals. Well, no, we don't think we can deliver that in a profitable way. So let's no bid it. And people are coming to us. They're saying, look, Rekoop, you have this data. You know what's going on. You know how much time these projects are taking. Can you help us with the budgeting of that, so that we know not only historically can we look at the last 10 projects and analyze the time there, but now we've got that data, can you help us with the budgeting and running that project in life? So this is leading to the next stage of our product development, and we're working with leading firms at the moment to develop an enhancement within Rekoop that handles that cost budgeting challenge. And I think understanding of time in a very holistic way is really important, and we get involved in some really interesting conversations with firms around non-billable time, because often there is a big focus on just capturing the 4 or 5 or 6 hour billable target in the day. Obviously that's the bit that's going to flow through to cash collection, but actually from a man management perspective, if you're a partner managing a team of lawyers, it is really useful to know in the round what these people are doing. And that's whether they're doing marketing or business development or doing training or traveling a lot. And actually what Rekoop does, it captures all of that time very automatically. It also assigns every time entry with a very high quality narrative, which does improve billing. But from a non-billable perspective, it's capturing these activity types automatically, so that when you're looking at, even in an appraisal with a lawyer, you can sit down and you can see that X% of their time was spent traveling, or X% of their time was on the phone or doing business development, and you can see the effectiveness of that compared to their colleague, for example. So you can actually start to build up a picture of, well, within that team, what does our perfect lawyer look like? What are the behaviours, the activities, the time being spent that actually produce the most results? And of course you only get that if you can see the whole picture. So legal time recording already has become something that we don't really want people to have to think about on a daily basis. And gosh, it's coincidence really, or maybe not, that I'm surrounded by Apple technology, and I think that's one of the things that has made this transition possible in many ways, is that people use these devices now in their personal lives, at work. They don't think about these as advanced computers. These are things that people just, part of their lives, they're on them all the time, they're watching videos on them, they're engaging with them in a way that they never thought possible with technology. And part of the challenge for a vendor is to, especially in the enterprise space, is to develop technologies that they're just there. They're not things you think about. It's just, oh, you hop on and you administer your time recording, your work data. It's not a conscious act, a conscious burden that you have to turn to. And really where Rekoop is that already we are fully technology agnostic. It's not for us to go to a firm and say, you have to have Apple products, you have to have BlackBerry products, or whatever they are, Windows or Android or whatever. For us, that's our challenge. That's what keeps our guys awake at night, wondering how the hell to fully embrace all of those technology platforms. And believe me, it's not an easy thing to do, and that's why there aren't very many people doing it. I think that is the key thing. There's a huge barrier to entry there, but in actual fact, it has to be done. It has to be done by a vendor, because only then is it just something that exists. It's part of their everyday life. This isn't about tech. It's about just being there and grabbing the information and pushing it into the bowels of the law firm as seamlessly, as invisibly, as pain-free as possible. And then once we have that information, that's when we have the next part of the conversation. So what's next then? We have indeed, in a headline way, achieved our vision of using technology to automate the production of the timesheet, the good old-fashioned timesheet. Now, in essence, where does that go? Well, our clients have already been driving this for us. I mean, we're very, very client-driven. We don't sit in sunny Manchester thinking of random things to invent and then trying to sell them into the legal space. I think the fact that we have been a very small, nimble, and successful organisation is testament to the fact that we don't do that. We work very closely with the legal community to develop software that is immediately going to enhance the way they operate. And the next step is, well, what do we do with all this data? We have all this time data, we understand the cost of doing business, now what? Well, actually that's great, because we're into a whole next generation of our product set. The product's already gone from just time capture, automated time capture, to now enhanced reporting, enhanced analysis of that data. I hate using the word BI because it's a bit like cloud. What does it really mean? But in essence, is a subset of BI, I guess, is taking that data to enhance decision making. What can we do with that data? So Rekoop has a capability within it to help that. And then the last bit is the reporting and cost management piece, which is the real-time monitoring of this data against live matters, so that we can see if they're profitable and why they're not profitable, and then alert. It's making the currency, the raw currency of time, come to life. And that's now the exciting bit. And actually, I don't really enjoy too much anymore talking about good old-fashioned time capture, because it's almost been surpassed in this conversation. We've done that now. What's next? What do we do with the data? How can we use that data to really enhance profitability? And that's the thing that is really exciting to talk to firms about.